Hello everyone and welcome along to live coverage of round number 10 of the Inside Line Racing League season here in ILR on the PS4. Well, it is the penultimate round, it is the United States Grand Prix, and we are riding on board at the start of qualifying with VSR Blizzard, the reigning world champion, the dominant driver of the season, winning all but one of the races until this point. When he spoke a few weeks ago, after he wrapped up the championship, he wanted to go on and make sure he wrapped up the season by winning all the remaining races, and he has started by winning in Japan last time out, so things looking very good for Blizzard as we arrive here at the latest race in the calendar, the United States Grand Prix. He has totally dominated this season as the drivers go out and start their qualifying session. Just to quickly recap the tyres we have this weekend: the Ultra Soft, the Super Soft and the Soft compound tyres for this weekend. The guys on the Xbox on Friday night, it was now, I think back, a cracking race by the way. If you haven't seen that, be sure to check that one out on Twitch. It was an incredible race. We crowned a champion over there in the LCR Leopard in the Xbox race. But as I was saying, most drivers chose to qualify right at the end of the session on the Super Soft tyre. Now, will we see that from the PS4 guys? I know there's a little bit of a difference in terms of the tyre wear. Sometimes on the PS4 you can run a little bit longer, so some drivers perhaps will try to go out there on the Ultra Soft tyre. We will wait and see what they do. But yeah, certainly looking forward to this weekend nonetheless. I'm going to have a quick look now at the driver standings going into this one, and I think we're well aware that Blizzard has totally blitzed them. 200 points he stands on, 133 points ahead of second place Paris, who's only on 67. Absolutely astounding stuff from Blizzard. But what I will say is, behind Blizzard in the championship, anyone could finish second. Literally anyone, all the way down to 10th, 11th place. Paris has got 67 points in second. Leon is third with 61. In fourth place you've got It's Me with 58 points, and 56 points in fifth place is Liam. This is Wayne, he's on 54 points, and on 52 points as you know. Lewis, the former champion, he's on 51. Cliffy behind that on 45, and rounding out the top 10, Francis on 44 points. So very, very close. 23 points between second and 10th in the standings, so incredibly tight. Anyone in that group within a race victory capable of climbing up to second place in the standings. So all to play for behind that. Blizzard obviously way up the road, disappeared in fact. So we'll see what will happen today. Hopefully plenty of exciting action as we continue to watch Sterling West at the moment, who's out there on the soft compound tyre as things stand. Just looks like he's dialing himself in for a later run in the session, perhaps on the Super Soft, as Sterling West crossed the line to actually start a flying lap. But at the top of the standings at the moment, interestingly, we've got Francis, who has gone out and set a quick lap on the Ultra Soft tyre. So Francis with the Ultra Soft, that's a reasonable lap. So I wonder if that's his intention, to qualify on those tyres. We'll have to wait and see, but he's the only man so far that looks to have committed for a lap on those tyres. But I'm just going to quickly talk about this United States circuit. It is certainly one of my favourite circuits of the modern era that Herman Tilke has built. The huge elevation change around the racetrack, always a nice feature to get on racetracks, sometimes a lot better than those flatter racetracks that you get, and adds a little bit of character. That this area of the track here that Lickle's just gone through, the long sweeping turns 17 and 18, reminds me of Turn 8 at Turkey, only in reverse, going in the opposite direction. So that's Tilke taking that particular corner from one of his previous circuits, and taking corners from classic tracks as well. Like this uphill one reminds me a little bit of that uphill climb towards turn 1 at Austria, and that can create exciting racing. It's such wide apex, it was such a wide corner when you get there. It's so wide, it's such a wide line you can take in, so many different lines you can take into the corner, and that creates opportunity for overtaking as he now goes through those SE sections, which remind me of Silverstone in fact. The Maggots and Beckett sequence there. So the USA circuit with many areas on its layout that remind me of other classic circuits and other more modern circuits like Turkey, of course, as he now goes down into another hairpin. Again, another wide corner, plenty of space to go lunging up the inside if you fancy it. And now down the long back straight, which without doubt is the best overtaking opportunity on the racetrack. DRS open for Lickel as he reaches for the brakes at turn 12. Again, very wide on the way in, so much options to go side by side, and you know, if you're still side by side, it can carry on right through this sequence, right up towards the hairpin. We've seen some great action in this section of track, some not so great action as well in the Xbox race, which was well documented on Twitter the other night through there, as ILRT Lickel now makes his way towards the end of the lap on those soft compound tyres, and is locked up and has had a big moment there. And what is going on there for Lickel? I'm not too sure what happened, but off he went and ended up impeding the car behind us. So not too sure what that was all about, but he looks to be coming into the pits now, or is he grinding to a halt? Not too sure what's up with Lickel, but he gets back underway. But that was pretty strange. Has he got maybe a wheel issue there, or something like that? A calibration issue? I'm not too sure, but he just seemed to stop turning dead. Dead Lickel blocks and got in the way of a few drivers. But there is VSR Blizzard, and he is out there on the ultra soft tyres. So it looks like he is perhaps going to go for a genuine run on these ultra soft tyres. We'll have to wait and see. Francis, the only man so far to put a time on the board that, you know, would look like anything close towards a pole position time. And Blizzard starts this flying lap. He's in mode 5, so it certainly looks to me like Blizzard is going to go for it. Down the hill he goes through those SC sections now. Let's listen to the car. How long is he flat out for? Has to back out, drop down into 6th gear midway through, but you know, he really is at one with the car. So confident at the moment, chasing yet another victory. It would be his 10th of the season, sorry, 9th of the season, as he tries to complete the season and winning 10 out of the 11 races, and he's backed out on this occasion. So perhaps he's trying to bluff some of the other drivers into that strategy. Not too sure, but Blizzard out there at the moment, no time set, currently P12. As we now go and watch Lambo, who's going through that first sector. What can he do this afternoon? VSR Lambo in that Force India, of course, Racing Point from the new game, as they will be known, but we can still call them Force India for now, as he heads down the hill towards the braking zone of turn number 11. Wide entry, moving on to the car, all about getting an important exit, but I think Lambo is also backed out of that lap. So let's have a look elsewhere. Is Francis going again? Let's see what he's up to. 30.5 is current best. Mercedes teammate Blizzard yet to do a time, as we've just seen, and Francis really committed to that penultimate corner, and now he throws it into the final corner and now heads up to the line. What's it going to be for Francis? It's a big improvement, a 130.2, and he's well clear at the top of the standings. He's the only man at the moment with a genuine effort on any tyre on those ultra softs, and that's a 130.2, and he now opens up an advantage of 1.7 seconds at the top of the standings. I mean, I'd be surprised not at all, of course, given the difference in tyres. But yeah, well, that would be beatable. You'd wonder what Blizzard can do. Will Blizzard try and do a lap on those tyres and get into the 129s, or will he go for the super softs at the end? We'll wait and see. Foxy Dude now, he's out there, and he's out there pretty early on a set of the red walled super soft tyres. So this looks like a one lap shot for Foxy Dude. You might be able to get 2 laps out of them, so that might explain why he's come out rather early, Foxy Dude. So let's keep an eye on him and see what he can do. But coming into this hairpin, you can lunge up the inside, you can make a move there, and I've just spilt water all over my mic. Well done. At least it's not milk. Oh dear, what a mess. Well, it's only water. No big deal. As Foxy Dude heads down towards the final couple of corners, he's not on a particularly quick laps, but he is about to wind up for one, so I want to keep an eye on him. And he's going to be the first man to put a benchmark effort down on those super soft tyres. Across the line comes the Ferrari up the hill towards turn 1. And he seems quite calm on the brakes there, as if he wasn't really pushing, and don't know what's going on. Foxy Dude, it looks as if he wasn't pushing too hard there going into the first corner, so I'm going to go somewhere else. Alfie's not in a quick one, so you know, we're pretty much lost for finding drivers, so we'll stick with Foxy for now, but looks like his battery has been used up. He's got no deployment, so no sign of a quick lap here coming from Foxy Dude. So let's keep an eye on ILRT Leon, who is right in the thick of that battle to finish second in the standings. He's currently third. Can he be the man to stop the Blizzard streak of victories and move himself into top spot to become the runner-up in the Drivers' Championship? As the Renault driver heads down the back straight, DRS open, and weaving from right to left to get those super soft tyres up to temperature. And he's going to be one of the first ones, like Foxy Toad. I think Kornhoff is out there as well, as is CPI Lewis. As you can see on the left-hand side of your screen, I'm just going to show you what tyres they've all got fitted, and there you go. They've done the best laps up till now on softs and ultras, and now they're going on to the super softs. So an interesting end to the session coming. Always love these one-lap shootouts in qualifying. Francis, though, I'd say that 130.2 is rather untouchable on the ultra soft tyre, so it's going to be all about who can sit in behind him on the grid. That's unless Blizzard unleashes an absolute monster of a lap time. Here comes ILRT Leon round the final corner, and he starts a flying lap right now. Down towards turn 1 he goes. Red Bull coming out of the pits just behind him, thankfully for him. Not in his line of sight as he brakes up the hill towards turn 1, now sweeping down through turn 2 and into those SC sections now. 7th gear, dropping into 6th, 180 miles an hour on the way in there. And then you've just got to carry that momentum, sweeping down through this sequence of corners. And then you're climbing back uphill all of a sudden. Easy takes track extend, and Leon using a little bit of cut, but at the FIA usually in United States Grand Prix have been alright with that. They've not been too bothered about people running wide there. And Leon clipping the curb, the car unsettling at the rear as he clips it, and now opens up the DRS and heads down this long back straight past the Ferris wheel on the left hand side, where all the overtaking should be expected in the race, and then braking at 100 metres and turning in to the left hander of turn 12. Get on the throttle as soon as you can, line it up, and then into the next tight sequence of corners. 2nd, 3rd, 4th, the rear end wanting to slide away from Leon, and then dropping into the hairpin. Very important you take a wide line in to slingshot yourself out of it. You're on the throttle all the way towards the penultimate corner from this moment on, so it's so important you get a good exit. Then you're hanging on for dear life through 17 and 18, dropping down through 19, one of the trickiest corners on the racetrack, and now into that final corner, which can be quite deceiving. The camber can really upset the balance of the car, and Leon crosses the line. It's a 131.2. He's 9 tenths away from Francis, and predictably he is not as quick. So who else we got out there at the moment? Lickle on the super softs going for a run. We saw Kornhoff coming out, so he's at the end of his lap, so let's keep an eye on what Kornhoff can do in that Toro Rosso. A couple of corners to go, and here he goes. Where is Kornhoff going to put it as he comes up to the line? And it's a 131.5. He's 1.3 away. Foxy Dude's gone just in front of that, so no major improvements. No one really threatening the time of Francis to this point on the ultra soft tyre. Blizzard, I'm hearing rumours, is not qualifying, so there you go. No qualifying effort from Blizzard, so that might surprise some of you, given that he's going for that run of victories, but he is not going to qualify. That is the rumour. I'm going to keep an eye on him just in case he does decide to qualify. He is out there on the racetrack, so we'll keep an eye. 40 seconds to go. Is he going to bail into the pits here, or is he going to complete the lap or start a lap? Is he going to slow down behind CC Brain and go for it? Here we go. Looks like it. So Blizzard looks like he is going to put a genuine effort together, but it's not going to be too good if he's got the Brain directly in front of him. So we'll see what Blizzard does do in the next few moments. Lickle has gone to what would be provisional pole at the moment, with Francis long gone, or provisional pole on the super softs I should say. Francis on the ultras looks like he's got that pole position sewing up. Lambo is out there. CPI Lewis running wide and ruining his effort. Poe's out there. Cliffy's in the pits. Cliffy always likes to sit in the pits, we know that. Leon still 4. Foxy Dude seen the flag. Who we got? Gone on the end now goes third quickest. Who can we pick up on a lap at the moment? Here is Kornhoff coming round the final couple of corners towards the line. Where can he go? He's currently 6th quickest. Is Kornhoff, what's it going to be? He stays P6 and sees the checkered flag. Let's see if we can pick a few drivers up near the end of a lap. Lambo looks like the one to watch now as he has gone through the second sector any moment now and into that final part of the lap. Locking up there was the Force India driver. Poe's now gone up into 4th place. So it's Lickle and Gone and N in behind Francis with Poe and Leon behind that. Here comes VSR Lambo through the final couple of corners. What can he do in that Force India? Can he move up from 14th? He's not got a time on the board at the moment. Round the final corner he will come, and across the line he goes 5th quickest as things stand. So let's keep an eye on Blizzard. Is he going to complete this lap? Is he on a quick one or is he not? It's a slow one. He's well down. So Blizzard clearly not going to qualify then. Still Lickle on top with Gone and N, then Poe, and CC Brain has now gone up into 5th place. What about Alfie? Now it's Yanul going quickest. Liam's gone into 3rd place. So Yanul's quickest of the super soft runners. Here comes Alfie. Can he displace any of those? It's P13. No improvement there. Blizzard's backed out. No time set. And I think that is that. I don't think Gone and N's on a quick one. He is not. And that means to say Francis, as you expected with that early time, 1 minute 30.2, is on pole position. Never in doubt really from the early stages when he stuck a set of ultras on, and with Blizzard not qualifying and Cliffy not qualifying either, it's not really a surprise that Francis is on top. But Yanul doing a great job there to get himself into 2nd place. So an exciting race coming ahead of us tomorrow. Let's see how the drivers will cope. Let's see how Blizzard can cope coming all the way through from the back of the pack. We know that Cliffy does it very often, but you just never know. Blizzard, it is a track that you can overtake, so do not be surprised if Blizzard comes charging through. He is only in 14th place, by the way, so it's not as if he's right down at the back. But there it is. Francis on pole position with that 1 minute 30.242. You know, second, half a second shy, was always going to be on those tyres. He's second. Liam is in 3rd place with Lickle in 4th. Gone in 5th. ILRT Leon in 6th. His teammate Poe, he's right behind him in 7th. CC Brain comes home in 8th. 9th for Lambo, and Sterling West is 10th. Foxy Dude, he's 11th. Kornhoff is 12th. ILRT Alfie 13th. Blizzard in 14th position. CPI Lewis and Cliffy rounding out the 16 drivers on the grid as we get ready for the United States Grand Prix. Expect dry conditions to start with. I don't know what the overall weather forecast is, but given how many drivers qualified on the super soft tyres, I think that tells us all we need to know about that. And there is the confirmation of it. Dry weather ahead for the penultimate round of the championship here in the United States of America. Not quite the championship excitement that we had on Friday night with Blizzard winning it a few races ago, but still, Blizzard down at the back of the pack. Don't go anywhere, folks. It could be an exciting race. With Blizzard down there, Cliffy down there, what can Francis do from pole position on tyres that you just wouldn't expect to work around the circuit of the Americas? The ultra soft tyre really does die away. Can the Scotsman deliver a lap time and a stint capable of challenging for the victory at the start of the race? We'll have to wait and see. That's certainly going to be his intentions as the 5 red lights come on, or I should say the 5 green lights come on, and we get ready for the formation lap. We've got a Ferrari sitting on the grid there. Foxy Duty will get away eventually, or was it Alfie? Or I'm not too sure who it was, but one of the Ferraris out of position, it would seem. He is in 11th place, and he's actually spun, or he's been hit. I think he might be lagging actually. I've seen him jumping around a little bit, Foxy, or one of the Ferraris. He is the only Ferrari, so that might explain that. But he is hopefully going to rejoin in 11th place and we won't have any trouble. But let's have a little look then at the tyre compounds. As we expect, the top 10 all starting on the tyres they qualified on. That's Francis on the ultra soft tyre, then everyone behind him in the top 10 on the super softs. That's Yanul in 2nd, Liam in 3rd, Lickle in 4th, Gone in 5th, Leon 6th, Poe 7th, 8th the Brain, 9th Lambo, and Sterling West in 10th. Then we have outside the top 10 Foxy Dude. He has gone for a set of soft compound tyres. That's his fresh set. The first man with the fresh tyre. Kornhoff, he's also gone for the soft compound. Alfie, fresh super soft for him. Blizzard has gone for soft tyres. Lewis has gone for the ultras. So that's a very interesting call from him. Fresh tyres, fresh ultras. What can he do from there? And Cliffy at the very back is on the super soft. So, you know, you can expect Blizzard's plan here. If he doesn't make as much ground up at the start, he'll try and do it when he's in clean air as one of the few drivers out there on the soft tyres towards the end of the stint, and that should give him a chance, even if he does not make the ground he was hoping for at the start. But he's certainly still one of the favourites for this Grand Prix, even from 14th place. It is a track you can overtake. He is so quick, and when you've won 8 out of 9 races to this point of the season, then it's hard to argue that he isn't one of the favourites. Certainly going to be a threat from 14th place in the grid. But we're going to have quite a battle up in front of that for the victory. How long can Francis go on those ultra softs? Can he make it work? Or will his tyres die away quickly as we get ready for 28 laps here in the United States? The Circuit of the Americas, certainly one of my favourite tracks on the calendar since it was brought. A favourite amongst many of the fans. And we can get ready to go racing. Much better, this circuit, than going to somewhere like Indianapolis. A purpose-built circuit here in the United States for Formula 1. And it always has provided good races, whether it was on the game or in real life. So here we go then, the 5 red lights about to come on. Here we go, the cars all lined up in the grid for the United States Grand Prix, the penultimate round of the season. What can Blizzard do from the back? What can his teammate do from the front as the 5 red lights go out and we go racing down towards turn 1? It's a great start from the Force India of Yanil, and he's on the inside. Is he going to take the lead away from Francis? Francis gets wide on the curb, and the Force India sweeps through into the lead. Great stuff from Yanul, and he leads from Francis and Gran as they go sweeping through the S's for the first time out of 28. There was a crash here in the Xbox race. Are they all going to get through? I think they are, as they all now climb up the hill through that first sector, and it's the perfect getaway for the Force India driver ILRT Yanul, who's chasing a first win in this tier. So, going down towards the end of that first sector, he still leads, and there's a big move there. Was that pole going up the inside? Yes, it is. Side by side he goes with ILRT Lickle, and he's unable to complete that move. Lambo in behind that as they all hurtle down that long back straight towards the braking zone of turn 12. And look at the action going on in the background there. One of the McLaren's in there, one of the Williams as well, as we shuffle back to that. That's Sterling West fighting with Lewis. Lewis going wide, and Alfie now sweeps in, takes advantage, and has the place. As at the front, Francis appears to have got back ahead of Yanul. I've missed that. And a quick change of leadership once again. Apologies, folks, for missing that one. It's all happening on the opening lap, and Francis, despite losing out at the start, looks to have regained the initiative on those ultra soft tyres, which for the moment should be the slightly grippier compound, the one to be on. So Garnan settling in third position behind that. Can he get the result he's looking for? He hates the rain. It's dry today. And with Blizzard much further down the field, he has got every opportunity of putting a good race together, as Foxy Dude glitches the timing screens and goes to the top. That is not true. So try and ignore that, folks. It's not going to be easy for me to try and commentate when things like that happen. But there's the position changes as Foxy Dude is now going down to the back of the pack. And Cliffy up 3, Lewis up 3, and Alfie up 2, Lambo up 2, and Garnan making big gains as well on that opening lap. So impressive stuff there as CC Brain picks up a 3-second time penalty. But this is where the action is as we go on board with ILRT Lickle. Is he going to have a look up the inside into the braking zone for turn 11? No, he's not. He decides better of it and will try and line up a manoeuvre going down the back straight. The problem is, though, the cars in front, they've all got the same slipstream that Lickle has. So it's all about being brave on the brakes. Haas at their home circuit looking to put on a show. But Lickle at the moment down 1 place from his starting position, unable to make those gains back, as we can shuffle back down through the field, because we've got CPI Lewis very close to Alfie with Cliffy in there too. Blizzard's not too far away there as well. Let's go on board with Blizzard, who's had a far from spectacular start to this race. He's still languishing down in 14th place. He's not gained at all at the start of this Grand Prix, and that's not good for him. As Lewis now gets a little bit wide, and that's going to allow Blizzard to maybe just squeeze alongside. Great stuff here in the United States as they go into the penultimate corner, and Lewis still holds on to that P13. He's lost out to Cliffy, but it looked for all the while he was going to lose out to Blizzard, but he didn't. He held on and maintains that place as the DRS is now enabled. Francis McGinn, brand new, fastest lap of the Grand Prix on lap 3 out of 28 on those tyres, and he's opened up a 1.1 second lead, breaking that DRS as soon as it's enabled. So the perfect stuff, perfect start for him. That's exactly what he wanted, as Blizzard now continues to get closer and closer to making a move as Foxy Dude continues to glitch out the timing screens on my left hand side. So this is probably still the battle you want to watch at the moment, because Blizzard, you know how capable he is of coming through the field and winning. He is very, very quick. Cliffy as well, but this is the closest battle out there. I might shuffle up actually briefly to CC Brain, because he looks to be in a little bit of a scrap with Leon as well, as they all go down towards the braking zone for turn 12. Is he going to be making any moves? Not on this occasion, and they all remain where they are in a line going on lap 3 out of 28. What about Blizzard? Is he any closer to Lewis? Doesn't look like it. And reading the chat, Lewis saying that basically saying he didn't mean to be on the Ultra Softs. Why am I on them? He said. Not a clever idea. Probably not what he would have wanted, and especially when you're that far down the field. Fair enough if you're sacrificing your race to qualify well and be up the front, but Lewis didn't even qualify well, so to be on those tyres is part of him in both qualifying and the race. So, is Blizzard going to make any inroads soon? Doesn't look like it at the moment. Let's shuffle back up to CC Brain in that big battle. Developing the other Haas driver, Lickle in 6th place. The two Haasies trying to put on a show at their home event, as Francis continues to lead, as Yanul is now 9/10 behind him, so only 9/10 now. And is that a sign of the gap coming back down and the Super Softs coming back into play as the #1 tyre at this stage of the race, as Blizzard picks up a 3-second time penalty, as does Foxy Dude. So Blizzard at this early stage of the race not at all happy with how things are going. He's not having that great afternoon. So Foxy Dude's car now showing us as P1. I mean, I don't even know, where is he? He's well, okay. He's coming across the line to start a lap 3 or 4, don't know. So Francis still your leader, and look at that, they're all so closely matched on lap 4 of 28. You'd think it was a safety car restart, you really would. That's gone and in now, gets tucked right up behind Yanul, and he fancies making a move soon. What can Gone and End do? Are certainly capable of winning a race he's won before, and as they go through the hairpin, still holding on in that 3rd place as Blizzard with that 3-second time penalty. You got to wonder, is this already slipping away from VSR Blizzard? I mean, usually Bulletproof usually come charging through, 3-second time penalty to his name already, and not gaining any positions in 5 laps. I mean, don't get me wrong, when the soft tyres come into their own later on, he will be on a charge in clean air, but at the moment, things not going to plan at all for VSR Blizzard. Is he going to try and move up the inside into turn 1 here? Nope, he remains where he is in P15, and we can shuffle back down to this great battle between Yanul, Goranen and Liam, but they're all being held up now by Francis, whose tyres, I would say, are past their sell-by date, and this means that everyone is going to be queuing up behind him. Oh, and Francis has made a mistake. There you go. His tyres are shot to pieces, and through goes Yanul, through goes Goranen, and surely side by side will go the Williams up the inside of Liam. Is he going to do it? Goranen tries to make a big lunge into the braking zone to take the lead. He forced wide. He's forced Yanul wide, and that allows Liam into the battle. They now go slipstreaming each other down the long back straight. Great action here in ILR1. Goranen defends the middle of the road. Into the braking zone they go. What's going to happen as they get there? Goranen still leading, and Yanul gives him a little bit of a touch, but Goranen with that very aggressive manoeuvre. And look at this, Francis coming back for more and regains 3rd place going into turn 12. Wow, all of a sudden the race comes alive, and now there's more contact. Lickle in the wars, and he's touched with Liam, and that is a real shame for the pair of them, particularly Liam, who was minding his own business. And Liam is dropping down the order to 14th place, and Blizzard now cutting through the gap with everyone else in front. And there you go, it's all happening now. Blizzard up into 11th place as a result. And wow, one one mistake from Francis, and it just sets off a chain reaction. And it just looked to me that it was a little bit greedy. As look at this into turn 1. We've got all sorts of action going on. Francis, they're 3 wide through the apex, 4 wide. It's like Noah's Ark through there. Look at this going down the hill. Goranen leads from Yanul in 2nd, then in 3rd it is Lambo, then Leon. This is like a Formula Ford race. Look at this, unbelievable. Francis is an absolute traffic jam. He is a mobile chicane out there on those ultras, and now he's been touched by Sterling West, and he's dropping down through the field like crazy here. Well, Blizzard's going to breeze past him, I can assure you that. But the race just came alive in an instant. As soon as Francis's tyres went away, it was like the cork in the champagne bottle. The champagne bottle exploded and it caused utter mayhem in front. And here the mayhem is still continuing. Look at this, CC Brain and Poe, and Alfie's going to get boxed in here, but he's going to come charging through anyway. Passing Poe and rubbing wheels and into the braking zone, is up the inside, and incredibly is through up into 6th place. He's gone wide though, and now on the outside goes CC Brain. Crazy stuff in the United States, and the Haas team and the Haas fans will not like that. Through goes Alfie, through goes Cliffy, and CC Brain drops down to 7th place, and this race has came alive in an instant. Goodness me. One mistake from Francis set off a chain reaction. Gone and then went for a move, and then it just went crazy after that. And wow, we can take a breath after all that crazy stuff. And now we've got pit stops, lots of them right now. In comes Francis, in comes who else? We've got Sterling West into the pits, we've got CC Brain into the pits as well. So 3 cars into the pit lane as we can go back to the action at the front. So Gone and End now leading Janul, and ignore Foxy Dude, by the way, folks, ignore him. I don't know where he is on the racetrack, but it is Gone and End leading now from Janul in second after an interesting move. I want your take, guys, in the comment section. Tell us what you think. That move from Gone and End that set it all off down into this very corner looked quite aggressive, missed the apex of the corner, and it sent Janul wide. But you know, it looked unfair on Janul, didn't it? But it then carried on even further down into the hairpin. But what did you think? Was it fair or was it unfair? The two fellow countrymen rubbing wheels down at turn 11. So Cliffy now, he's gone side by side with Alfie, and he's got through. Alfie down to 7th, Cliffy up to 6th, but that's a big tank slapper for Cliffy. And Alfie right there, but Blizzard, despite the unspectacular start he's had to the race, he's not that far off the front. 7 laps into a 28-lap race, and despite being 14th, what's his gap to the leader? About 8 seconds, 7.2 seconds. That is not a lot, given he's on the soft tyre as well. He definitely still has a chance in this Grand Prix, even after through all the problems he's had getting through the field, and with a 3-second time penalty too, we should add. But I've got to say, a few bad things happened in the race so far. Was that a desperate lunge from Gone and End to take the lead earlier? What about Lickle's aggressive move into the hairpin? That looked that caused problems for Liam, and that left him well out of the running too. So a few big talking points early on in ILR1, the United States Grand Prix here in Season 5. Gone and End still the leader, Janul second, and then we've got a 2.3 second gap back to VSR Lambo, who is in third. So is this becoming a 2-horse race out front? Potentially. We'll have to wait and see, as we've got Lickle blocks out of the Grand Prix. Where's he done that? Let's get an eye on riding on board. We can't see it from there. Oh, you can just see his car in the infield there. You might see it from this shot. There it's there, just briefly. So I don't know what's happened there. And Lickle out of the race. No sign of a safety car, no sign of any yellow flag. And that's a shame for the Haas team at their home event. So Lickle out of the running, and not going too well at the moment, as we go back to Gone and End out in front, leading the race from Janul in second, as he gets right up behind Foxy Dude's car there. I'm not too sure what is going on. We've got a virtual safety car now, and look at that, the leader just passed the pits, and look at that from Janul, he just made it in, but now Lambo's going to have to queue behind him, and he's got a drive-through penalty, Janul, for speeding onto the virtual safety car. So there you go, all guns blazing, all sorts of things happening there. How unfortunate that is, by the way, for Gone and End, as he just went round the final corner as a virtual safety car was deployed, and that is just throwing the race clean up in the air, because Janul got a time penalty there for speeding. And does that now put it into the hands of his teammate? Perhaps not, because his teammate Lambo was left queuing in the pit lane. So 1 minute it looked like it was going good for Gone and End, then it looked like it was going to go good for the Force India, of Janul, but he got a time penalty. Then you thought it was going to look good for Lambo, and now we got a spin. That's Foxy dude. Okay, he's lagging. And now, I don't know who's going to be the favourite. It's got to be Leon now. Surely, because Janul's got a penalty. Goodness me, it's all just flung itself up into the air like crazy. Soft tyres will go to the end from here. And it really has totally messed up the order. Right, so there it is with the pit stop count. Is going to be the net leader, but he has got a time penalty of 5 seconds. So that would then just about put Leon in control with Cliffy behind him and then Alfie. So a crazy series of events. It's ruined Force India's afternoon because got a time penalty and his teammate had to queue. It's ruined Gordon N's afternoon because he's been unable to take advantage of the virtual safety car. So it really has just jumbled it all up, thrown it all up into the air. It's ruined Blizzard's afternoon and Kornhoff because they started this race essentially on the soft tyre. So they're going to have to make up for the virtual safety car as well. So, it's hurt quite a few people there. And it's flung this race upside down into the air. And it's basically said, well, Blizzard's won pretty much all the races to this point. He might not win today, so it's up to any one of you to try and win this. And anyone can win this, the way it's panning out. But Gordon N, he will be gutted to have passed the pit lane as soon as the virtual safety car came out. And can he make it work with the clean air? That's the question. He will have fresher tyres as well at the end of the race, will Gordon N. So, it's all down to him if he wants to make it work. Crazy race. Crazy race. But there is the stop situation again. Leon has been in. Janul has dropped down to 10th place. Why is that? What has happened to ILRT Janul? Has he had a spin somewhere? I'm not too sure, but with that 5-second time penalty, he is now well out of the running for victory. He's had to come back into the pits again, I think, and fit a fresh of softs maybe. And side by side he goes with Francis into the braking zone, who is now on a fresh set of softs, and Francis holds on for now. But he's going to let him back through there, I think. And Janul is through up into 9th place, so it's all happening there. And Francis in 10th, Sterling West in 11th as Foxy Dude's car continues to glitch all over the screen. So Gordon N's came in. Where is he going to rejoin? Leon's in the final corner. How badly has that virtual safety car hurt Gordon N? Here he comes. Is he going to be ahead or behind Leon? He's going to be behind. So it's hurt him enough that Leon now has the net lead. And Cliffy now moves into rage, and he has an opportunity from the back of the grid to make things work as well. So that is now your net top three. Leon leading with Gordon N second, and ILRT Cliffy in third, with Lambo having to queue in the pits in fourth and Alfie in fifth. Wow, what a situation we have here. So, back up to the front. Blizzard. What can he do? Can he stretch this stint out long enough? This is his key to the race. Really is his key to the race. If he wants to bring himself into contention and make up for the poor start, make up for the 3-second time penalty, and make up for the virtual safety car, he needs to put this sequence of the race together and make it work. He's in clean air, and when Blizzard's in clean air, he's quick. So can he make it all work, as we've got movement between Cliffy and Gordon N. Cliffy either ushered through or found a way through up into what it would be a net second place to go chasing after Leon. So things are going to get pretty interesting now. We've lost Francis from the Grand Prix as well, by the way. I'm not too sure what happened there. So can Cliffy get on the rampage and complete another last to first challenge and go chasing after Leon? Well, he's been set free to do it. Can he do it? That's the question. And of course, Blizzard in clean air will be flying. He'll be pushing like crazy. So keep an eye on it. That's going to be one to watch as we go on board with Gordon N. Tucked right up behind his teammate. Is he going to be trying to fight back on his teammate Cliffy anytime soon? They're 2.1. As Cliffy picks up a 3-second time penalty. You can't be doing that, Cliffy. if you want to win the Grand Prix. 2.1 behind ILRT Leon. It is Leon going to pick up a first ILR1 victory tonight. What an opportunity it is for him to do it in the lead of this race. The net lead when the three in front pit. Could this be a great day for ILRT Leon out at the front of this Grand Prix? You know, he won in China. Looked like he could threaten for victory today, but a time penalty in the pits and then another incident later on which we did not see has ruined those opportunities. And Leon now on that 12 out of 28, long way to go. Looks like he's the man in the position to take the victory, but you just never know in ILR. You never know. The way this race has panned out so far, you just do not know what's going to happen next. Let's have a quick look at the gap to the leader, which is Blizzard at the moment. That could give us an idea of where Blizzard's going to rejoin this race. This group of cars are around 9 to 10 seconds away from Blizzard, so that's how much time Blizzard's going to have to make up at the end of the second half of the race. At least 10 to 15 seconds, you would think. So, and pass cars in the process. So, and make up for a 3-second time penalty. So Blizzard's chances of winning today, you've got to feel, are not as high as you would expect. So maybe, just maybe, it won't happen for Blizzard today. Interesting. It's got to be one of those three. You've got to feel it's going to be one of Leon, Cliffy, or Gran. I want to have a quick look here at Leon's penalty situation. 1 warning to his name. Cliffy has got a penalty to his name. Gran has got 2 warnings to his name. So that is the situation between the front three as things stand. Let's go back to Alfie, who's chasing down Lambo. All of these drivers will fancy their chances if they can keep their noses clean on the penalty count of a famous result. So, you know, they just got to keep themselves in contention, keep racing hard, and we have been a change of position up in front of that as Gran and Cliffy look to be swapping around, and Gran is back through. And is that because of Cliffy's penalty, or did he make that move? So we now have Leon ahead with Gran then behind, 2 drivers without penalties, 2 seconds apart. It's all happening. We can have a quick look to at that gap to the leader again, with Foxy Dude dropping out the way again. There you go, 10.7, and Foxy Dude's car gets in the way as I tried to show you it. But hey ho, nothing you can do about that. As Cliffy continues to follow now Gran. Looks like we won't see any changes there. As Poe's car jumps out the way, he's currently disconnected, I believe, from the Grand Prix. As Alfie tries to set up a move on Lambo. When can he try and find a way through? As Gran now picks up a 3-second time penalty. Oh, things are falling into place for ILRT Leon at the moment. They really are. As Alfie continues to hassle VSR Lambo, the Force India team, who were looking at a back-to-back podium here today, a double podium, now looking at nothing of the sort. Oh, oops a daisy. My mistake, folks. I'll get that sorted. Thankfully I've got the controller right here and the charger right here. A wee ad break for us there, but there we are, back to the action. But there you go. Still, they continue to battle. As Gran, are they going to start racing these two now? Gran and Cliffy, we could both have the penalty count. As Leon, as Foxy Dude goes off the track, I think Leon's hit him because Foxy's lagging. Hopefully no damage done though to Leon. That's the most important thing. Whether Leon actually saw him on his screen, that's another matter, of course. Just want to make sure. Yeah, no sign of any problems there for him. So he carries on his way as we go beyond the halfway stage of this race. Gran and Cliffy still right in there. Where's Blizzard as Kornhoff has come into the pits? There is Blizzard out in front. Still pushing on that 15 out of 28. The Mercedes driver now in the lead of the Grand Prix, 8 seconds ahead of Leon. That's not enough, you would feel, because then when he comes into the pits, he'll need to make it all back up, and that's asking a lot from Blizzard. And Leon doesn't have a penalty either, so essentially he's 5 seconds ahead of him right now on the road with a pit stop to come. Things shaping up nicely for ILRT Leon to get that first win on the board. Can he do it here in the United States? Surely the Renault team now will be starting to believe that there's an opportunity here for him. Kornhoff's come out onto the racetrack and he's come out in a battle. So in his first race, what can he do as he lines up Sterling West coming out of the hairpin and now down this back straight? He's got fresh tyres on board, fresh super softs, and Sterling West knows it. He's going to defend the middle of the road and then he'll decide better of it. This is not the race worth fighting, and Kornhoff dives up the inside and through up into 8th place. Easy stuff there, easy pickings. And now is CC Brain going to fancy getting involved with Sterling West? Doesn't look like it, and it stays as they were. Kornhoff 8th, Sterling West 9th, CC Brain in 10th. What about Alfie? Is he any more closer to passing Lambo? Is he any more likely at finding a way? Has he been lining it up for the last few laps? Gran and Cliffy not too far apart, only 8/10 as well. CC Brain gathers a 3-second time penalty. How far up the order can Kornhoff get as well? That's another big question we'll want to know. And he's next on his radar is Janul, 6.5 seconds behind him. We'll see how it pans out. Alfie still hustling and harrying the back of Lambo. He's been staring at that Force India for quite some time now. Is he going to be able to make a move anytime soon? Keep an eye on him down this back straight. Doesn't look like it. We're going to shuffle a little bit further up through the field and onto the back of ILRT Cliffy. Is he any more closer to chasing Gornen? There's only 1.3 seconds now between Leon and Gornen. So is Leon starting to struggle? Gornen's on fresher tyres as well, remember, by 2 laps fresher. But of course, unless Leon gets a penalty, I don't see this becoming a race between them. So we'll keep an eye on Leon. Let's see how his warning count's looking now. ILRT Leon. I tell you what, that's something that they need to bring into the game. It saved me going into Race Director. Still only the one warning. If in F1 2019, if anyone's watching from F1, like we've got with the tyres and the tyre life and how long we've done on the HUD, it would be really nice if we could see who's got 3-second penalties and who's got 6-second penalties. That would be a great addition if we could have that added. As we now see Blizzard has pitted and he's rejoined in 8th place, ahead of Kornhoff by 4.4 seconds. So this is it now for VSR Blizzard. He needs to make this race happen. It's all about what he can do. Leon now leads. The gap to the leader is 9.9. That's all Blizzard is behind. So he's got 11 laps to make 9.9 seconds up, plus the 3-second time penalty, and he breezes past Janul with ease. So, VSR Blizzard, what have you got up your sleeve? Can he go on and earn another victory? It's going to be a mammoth task over the remaining 11 laps, but just never, ever, ever count out VSR Blizzard. He's more than capable, and it's certainly going to be his task. We're going to be ready for a grandstand finish. 11 laps to go. Oh, don't go anywhere, folks. This will get interesting. Leon does not have a time penalty. Gornen and Cliffy do both have a time penalty. Blizzard also has a time penalty, so he's got so much to make up. But on these fresher tyres, they'll be eating into that gap very quickly. And interestingly as well, is Leon starting to struggle? Gornen has swallowed up the distance, and it's now very, very close. What are we going to see happen in this particular battle? Foxy Dude, who has been lagging all around the racetrack, has set a 33.9, the fastest lap. And Gornen gathers another 3-second time penalty, and that could ruin his hopes of beating Leon today. But if he does start fighting, it might help others out there, particularly Blizzard and perhaps his teammate Cliffy. But Blizzard already on the back of Alfie. He's flying out there. 8.7 now behind these guys at the front. It's less than that because that was the gap to Foxy Dude, who's lagging. What is the gap? 8.1 to Leon. Here he comes then. lining up Alfie for a move, and Blizzard is going to breeze past here. Not even worth getting excited about. He's going to make this move with ease, I would think. Blizzard going down into the braking zone. He's already alongside. He's already up and through and into 5th place. Next up on his radar is VSR Lambo. He's making light work of these drivers. 7.2 now the gap to the leader, and slowly but surely the favourite tag is being taken away from ILRT Leon, and it's been shuffled onto the shoulders of VSR Blizzard. He was looking like you could count him out earlier on in the race. In the first 5 or 6 lap, he did not make up any ground whatsoever. Now, he is making up ground, and he's making it up hand over fist. 6.6 behind the leaders now. He is absolutely flying. Alfie picks up a 3-second time penalty as Blizzard launches his latest attack, and he's going to breeze past here into the braking zone. Lambo can do nothing, and VSR Blizzard is up into 5th place. 4th place, I should say, because Foxy Dude should be ignored. I don't even know where he is on the circuit, folks. He could be leading, I don't know. So Blizzard, 6.2 now. Oh. Behind these guys with 9 laps to go. You got to feel he's going to get there. As Leon continues to be hunted down by the 2 Red Bull drivers, and Blizzard, you'll see him in the background pretty soon, homing in on these guys, I would think. As Gran now attacks Leon, and this is only going to strengthen Blizzard's hopes. And here he goes, down the outside he goes, and he breezes through. Leon wants to fight this though. Does he know about the penalties? He's only going to give away time to Blizzard, and it's still Leon back through into the position. So good fighting there from Leon to hold on, but it's inviting Blizzard in. You can see the Mercedes now in the background gaining rapidly, moving into view. Things are going to get pretty interesting, as Blizzard now is only 4.7 behind them. Ridiculous how quickly he's catching them. Qualifying lap after qualifying lap from VSR Blizzard at the moment. As Gran again thinks about a move on Leon and decides better of it. Lap 20 now out of 28. And Blizzard is coming very, very quickly. Going in now, thinking about another move on Leon, who is the leader. Does not have a time penalty, ILRT Leon. Going in. Does. He's got 6 seconds worth. Cliffy had a bit of a moment there coming off the corner as he made a mistake. He's going to get dropped in a minute as Gran now tries again. A little bit of dirt in his tyres actually there for Gran, but he's going to use all the marbles and then dive up the inside. A great switch back there from Gran to get up the inside and take the place away from ILRT Leon. Leon wants to fight back though. All this continues to aid Blizzard's cause. Gran now with the upper hand. He is the position. He has the inside. Will there be a switch back from Leon? No, there won't be. And Gran now leads on the circuit, but not when it comes to penalties. And all of this, there is Blizzard now rapidly gaining. So Blizzard, it's only a matter of time before he gets there, you feel. There he is, on the same piece of track now as them, gaining rapidly. Will Leon feel the need to respond? Or does he consolidate what he's got and try and just stay within 3 seconds of Blizzard? Because that's all he will need to do when Blizzard passes him. And I say when he passes him because he is going to pass him. He is that much quicker on those tyres. Leon still hoping to get that first win. Let's have a look now at what it's looking like for him. He's still only got that one warning. What's Blizzard looking like? One penalty. And he's one warning away from a second one, Blizzard. So that could be huge for the Grand Prix if he gets another one. Blizzard needs to be aware that he can't afford that. He just cannot afford that. So, Blizzard now within 1 second as Cliffy makes a mistake. Let's go back to Cornhop actually briefly. and see if he's going to try and make a move here on his debut on Janul. He's been making that ground up pretty quickly, has Kornhoff. And he now will try pretty soon to engineer a move on ILRT Janul, the only other man to win a race this season in this tier, with Blizzard being so dominant. Will there be a second man? We'll have to wait and see as Blizzard now gets into range. The neutrals watching will be groaning. Not again. Not another Blizzard victory. He's not won it yet. Kornhoff picks up another 3-second time penalty, and Cliffy is getting very defensive on the run up the hill. He defends to the inside. Blizzard going to have to try and go the long way round. Can he go the long way round? He is going to go the long way round. Squeezed onto the curb there by Cliffy, and there's contact between them. Oh no! And is that going to result in a new victor this season? Perhaps it is. It was great driving going round the outside from Blizzard, but Cliffy, his rear end went, and then they collided, and they've lost a little bit of time. Not massive amounts, but enough time perhaps to damage Blizzard's hopes of victory. We'll have to wait and see. He's still not miles away from them. We have to say that. As Leon now lines up Gran in further up the road than that. Oh no, I think he was passing another car. Yeah, he was passing the Renault. That's what it was. It was Gran in passing the Renault. My pole was Renault. It's lapped down. That was confusing. Well, here comes Blizzard now. And Cliffy, this time, can do nothing, and through he goes. But look how late on the brakes Cliffy is, determined to stick his nose in there and deny Blizzard, but he can't, and Blizzard breezes through this time, and he can now set his sights on ILRT Leon and gone in. 6 laps to get through and make up 3 seconds. Oh, it's going to be a tall order after that bump with Cliffy, but it's not out of the question. As Blizzard and Foxy Dude's lagging car come to grief again. I don't think Blizzard sees that car when he's driving. I think it's just us in the commentary box that is seeing that. Otherwise he'd be losing time to the guys in front, but that is not what he's doing. He's gaining time massively. So, down the hill they go on lap 23 out of 25. Blizzard, his tyres will not be as good as they were, as strong as they were earlier in the race, so that bump could cost them. It certainly could. It's Kornhoff now, by the way. Oh, look at this! Janul, Alfie and Kornhoff, and Janul and Alfie coming together. Kornhoff in there on the fresher tyres, trying to get involved as the camera goes to a stupid shot. And wow, that was so close. Janul 6th, Alfie 7th, and Kornhoff in 8th. Oh, crazy stuff. Kornhoff, you would fancy on those super softs, will make some ground. Is he going to make some on this occasion? Alfie tries up the inside on Janul. Kornhoff's going to line this up from a long way back, take the ideal line, but the tyres are not quite there. They're there though compared to his rivals, and he's going to pull alongside. We're going to go 3 wide here. What a terrible camera again as they go down towards the braking zone. Kornhoff on the inside. Is he going to be through on the pair? Nearly. Alfie's there still. He squeezes him out onto the curb. Alfie won't get in. And they're going to touch again. They do touch again. Will that invite Janul into it? Yes, it will. And Kornhoff drops down. And all of a sudden, having looked like gaining all the ground, he drops to the back. And Janul steals it from Alfie now. Crazy action here. Alfie hangs on and will maintain the place. Will he? Sweeping down through 17 and 18. Janul's still there. Alfie now through into the place. Oh, breakfast stuff here in ILR. Crazy. And Kornhoff still can't get through on those super soft tyres. It just isn't happening for him. Madness. Now across the line, Alfie and Janul fighting like mad up towards the braking zone of turn 1. Round the outside will go Janul. Alfie has the inside line. Janul on the outside, he can't do anything. But Blizzard is right there of Leon now. And has got to fancy his chances of making that move. But the question is the 3 seconds. Can he make that up and go on and win this race? Here he goes then. Leon can defend all he wants, but it's going to be difficult because Blizzard's going to go through. What about on the braking zone though? Can Leon brake late enough? No, he can't. He has to let him go. Now, the question is, can Blizzard build up the 3 seconds he needs to beat Leon to victory here? Gornanen's got 6 seconds, so essentially Blizzard is already ahead of him. That is the burning question here in the closing stages of this Grand Prix. I still think Blizzard can do it, but if he picks up another time penalty, he'll be in danger. Look how close he is to getting it. Can he keep it on the island and not pick up that penalty? Already Leon is a second behind. He's already struggling. What about Kornhoff? Still stuck behind Janul. As they come across the start-finish line then. We're going to go to Blizzard in a moment, fighting with Gran. If Gran can defend hard, it might give Leon a glimmer of hope. Still Kornhoff can't get through, and this battle is somewhat calmed down. It had to calm down eventually because it was it was bordering on crazy, that stuff. But let's go to Blizzard. You got to feel, as Mark says, and I've got to agree with Mark in the comment section, the best hope for Blizzard at the moment is either the best hope for Leon at the moment is Gran defending hard from Blizzard, or of course getting another penalty. But at the moment that isn't happening because Blizzard is going around the outside. He's going past Gran and he is moving up into the lead of the Grand Prix on the circuit. 1.6 the gap between him and Leon at the moment. If it increases up above 3 seconds, Blizzard's going to win the race. But as Mark says, the best chance Leon has got is if Blizzard gets another time penalty. At the moment, you just doubt that, don't you? You just feel Blizzard, he's got it all under control. He's stroking it home as things stand. We'll keep an eye on that as Blizzard now takes the net lead on the racetrack as we go back to this dramatic fight for 6th, 7th and 8th between Alfie, Janul and Kornhoff as they go into the braking zone of the penultimate turn. Really is a tricky corner there, even with that dirty air as well. It makes it even harder. Now the final turn. Kornhoff looks like he's got a fantastic exit. Alfie's, Janul's got the DRS, but I don't think it's going to help him here. Kornhoff in the slipstream. He's going to try and squeeze up the inside. Is he going to try and break a little bit later? Decides better of it. Janul goes deep into the corner, but will hold on nonetheless. Crucial stuff there for Janul, breaking that a little bit later. Kornhoff, he just looks a little bit shy in his first appearance. Doesn't want to cause a scene by running into someone, and is just biding his time with these moves, which is fair enough. We've seen some great racing so far. And the CC Brain picks up a time penalty. Oh, and Kornhoff, oh dear. He's ran into Janul, and well, that looked strange there. I didn't know how that quite happened. He just seemed to lock up and go straight. Has Kornhoff had an issue? Has he got a wheel problem perhaps? I'm not too sure, but he just ran straight into Janul there. And now Janul's under threat from Liam in the fight for 9th and 10th. So that was a strange one. I didn't know what I was watching there. So crazy stuff there. And Kornhoff has been disqualified from the session for being parked in a dangerous location. So that was strange. And I had to say, as Mark's just now said, I had to say he was having a clean race, was Kornhoff. Well, he just ran into the side plainly and got disqualified. Oh well, commentator's curse strikes again. Meanwhile, the big question, what about out front? 3.079. It is now above the 3 second margin, and Blizzard at the moment is going to win again. There is just no stopping him. Unbelievable. VSR Blizzard yet again is going to do the business even when it didn't look likely. It's only just the 3 seconds now, but if the tyres are dying, maybe, just maybe Leon can find that second wind. We'll have to wait and see. But it's very, very close, that's for sure. As Gran gets closer to Blizzard again. Is he maybe starting to struggle on the tyres via Blizzard? Can Leon fight back? Perhaps he can. I'm not getting the update on the gap to the leader. Hopefully, well, Foxy Dude's now out the way. That will give me an update. What is Leon's gap to the leader? 3.8. So that looks like it's done. 4 seconds. It's climbing. So that looks done. So any hopes that perhaps Blizzard's tyres were dying for the neutrals out there wanting a grandstand finish, they have been extinguished. He's about to start the final lap and go on and try and make it 9 wins in 10 races. Utter dominance that we had never seen before in ILR. Unless, of course, he cuts a corner and picks up a 3-second time penalty, and that will end that streak. Keep an eye on VSR Blizzard. He needs to keep it clean and tidy, and he should make it 9 wins from 10 on lap 28 out of 28. Coming all the way from 14th in the grid, chose not to qualify. He was further up of the drivers that didn't put a lap in. Cliffy was at the back in P16, but he still essentially started right down at the back of the field. And VSR Blizzard is on his way. Gran tried his best. Leon tried his best. It looked for so long in that Grand Prix like it was going to be Leon's afternoon. But unfortunately, it's going to just be second place for him. It will help him in his quest for second in the championship. There's also a battle going on for 8th and 9th. We will go to that. And also for the final point between Liam and Yanul. We will go to that. We will watch that for now, actually. I think we've got enough time to watch this one. Blizzard won't be too far away from the end of the lap, actually. But, you know, we'll keep an eye on this. It doesn't look like there's going to be a move here. So I think it's time to go up to the front as CC Brain has a massive accident on the straight. But, okay, let's go to VSR Blizzard then, who is coming round the final corner. And from P14 on the grid, there is just no stopping him. It's going to be his 9th win in 10 races this season. You just cannot stop this man. One blot in his copybook in China, and a near invincible season is almost complete. 1 round to go, and well, I said at the start of the race he'd still be one of the favourites to win. And after a few laps, I began to think maybe not, but no. Blizzard again finds a way, and with time in hand, does the job. Even if he did pick up a 3-second time penalty, he'd only lost out by half a second. He would still beat Leon by 2.5 seconds. A great drive again from Blizzard. Leon second. He now moves into that second place in the driver standings as a result. That will please him. Gran, he's third. ILRT Cliffy in fourth. Lambo fifth. In the end, Sterling West in sixth. Yanul 7th, Liam 8th, Alfie 9th, Foxy Dude. Is he 10th? Did he get 10th place? So there you go. We finally, the mystery of Foxy Dude was discovered. He finished 10th. And CPI Lewis 11th sees the line. CC Brain, who I don't know, is doing some donuts, is he? For the home fans here in America, in the Haas car. He finishes in P12. And that is that for the United States Grand Prix. VSR Blizzard, the victor, and Leon will be gutted. A real opportunity to win for the first time disappears right at the end, but you just cannot stop this man. You cannot stop him. There he is on the top step again. VSR Blizzard celebrates yet another win. 9 wins in 10 races. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. Leon second, Gran is third. We've got 1 round to go on F1 2018, the Brazilian Grand Prix, and that will be us. Will anyone be able to challenge Blizzard at the final round? Will anyone be able to challenge him at all on F1 2019? He really has a star of the future, coming through from 14th place to win in the end. Leon second, Gran third, as I mentioned, with Cliffy coming on P4 in their Aston Martin Red Bull. 5th place, VSR Lambo. 6th for Sterling West. 7th, ILRT Yanul. He had a chance of winning this earlier on as well, you could have said. Liam was 8th. Alfie 9th, Foxy Dude 10th, CPI Lewis 11th, 12th for CC Brain, and Poe 13th. Francis McGinn also with Poe did not finish the race, neither did Lickle, and Kornhoff was disqualified after what was a rather strange incident down at turn 11, where I think he may have had a wheel issue or something that collected Yanul, who was the unfortunate driver, to get involved. But I'm going to invite the guys in for some interviews. Hang around, folks, and you can hear from them in a few moments' time. So we're going to get them all in and have a word with them and see what they've got to say. Of course, the guys in the podium, they were VSR Blizzard, Leon, of course, and also we're talking to Gran as well. They were the 3 guys in the podium. I've invited Blizzard, and I can now set about inviting Gran and Leon. But yep, Blizzard again, just unstoppable. Just nobody able to stop him. It's just incredible dominance we have never seen before. As we can try and get Leon in, and we can try and get Everyone else in. Oh, bear with me, folks. I need to send in my friend requests. I don't have them in my friends list. Going in. So I've got an invite for Blizzard, an invite for Gone in, and when I've got Liam on my friends list, I can invite him as well. And he has now added me, so I can add him too. Bear with me, folks. Right. Everyone appearing offline, nothing worse. Right, I've sent one to Leon, that's good. I think I've sent one to everyone else. I'm going to send them another one just in case. So we have got Blizzard, we've got Leon, and we don't have Gone in. Oh, Leon's departed or left, or is he here? Is he here? I think he's here. Anyway, let's get on with it then. No sign of Gone in joining us. Blizzard, let's start with you. Another victory. I mean, where do we stop with the victories? I mean, that one today, a difficult one. You had to come charging through from the back. And again, you managed to pick up the victory, denying Leon in the closing laps. But, I mean, that was a difficult one today. You had a lot thrown at you, a virtual safety car that didn't go your way. I mean, didn't make up the ground at the start that you would have perhaps liked, and also a collision with Cliffy that hampered your progress. So try and talk us through it, because at times you must have thought you had no chance of winning that.
Well, I thought the pit lane was longer, first of all. So I was a bit confused when I came out like 8 seconds or so behind Leon. I think when I was 8 seconds ahead when I came in. The start was, I actually had a good start. Managed to jump Alfie off the line, but the tyres weren't good enough off the traction, so I think his name's Kornhoff or whatever passed me again. So I didn't gain the position at the start, and then I lost another one to Cliffy, which I think was desync as well, because his car just went underneath mine around the right-hander, the turkey one. And then it was just about slowly making up positions. There was a crash. I think my teammate Francis was doing a lot of number 2 driving. I think. I don't know if that was actually true or not, but... And then, so I gained positions on a couple of drivers after that, and then it came up to the pit stops, or the VSC, and everyone came into the pits, and I lost, I reckon, 5 seconds from that. I also made a mistake with the delta and lost 2 seconds at the end of it. And then I just drove consistently as possible. I didn't go out of 3/10 of each of my laps from after the VSC. And I pitted, and the tyres were amazing compared to the softs. I was lapping like 2 seconds faster in the first couple of laps, I think. And I managed to catch up to Cliffy, who made a mistake the lap before. And I think it was desync. Because his car just swiped right into me when just going around the corner. I know Cliffy wouldn't do that, so. And I managed to get past him after that, and then just caught up to Leon and Gone in, and passed him. It was fairly simple. I'm not gonna lie. The tyres just could not break as late as mine, I'm guessing. So.
And that was that. On to victory. I mean, I have to say, when you put those tyres on, I agree with you. I was a bit surprised myself with the delta with the pits. I thought the pit lane was longer too. When I saw you were 8-9 seconds behind, I thought, oh, goodness me, he can win this from here. And of course, you came charging through. And, you know, I mean, when there's that much of a difference in the tyres, as you say, 2 seconds at the end of your stint, I'm pretty sure they'd have been suffering the same way when you had your fresh tyres. So it was, when you got there, it was, never in doubt. It was all about ensuring you never got that second penalty. Because if you did, I'm not sure if you're aware, that would have allowed Leon to pick up the win. So, I mean, what was that going through your mind as well in the closing laps, to just bring it home and not pick up that penalty?
Yeah, I was lapping like half a second slower than I think I could have. Just because I was avoiding the entire curbs for the S section, I knew that I could get a penalty. I was one warning away, so I just tried to drive as conservative as possible in the S's. and then gain back the time in the rest of the lap.
And why start from the back? Would you just fancy the challenge of trying something different on your quest to try and wrap up all the races with in the remaining races of the season?
I started with the back to have fun, and also so Francis could win. I gave him slipstream on all 3 of his runs in quali, but that didn't help much in the race.
Yeah, he was struggling a lot on his tyres, and actually it was like the cork in the champagne bottle. As soon as he released everyone, it created a frenzy. I think that's part of what you saw going through 17 and 18, or the long turkey corner when you got past a few of them. It was absolutely crazy for a few laps as soon as Francis was ushered aside, shall we say, on those tyres. But what about Brazil then, the final race of the season? I take it, are you planning to start from the back there to have some fun and try and secure 10 wins out of 11?
I'm going to start at the front, hopefully, this time, because some of the quali times I can do there is amazing, and I really want to try and get one in the actual session.
Okay, no problem. Well, congratulations on that victory, a topsy-turvy race, and many things threw at you to try and deny you the win, but still came out on top. But let's speak to Leon, who must be gutted, because for a long spell of that race, it certainly looked like the Renault driver was going to be the man picking up the victory. But Leon, talk of your disappointment, talk about your happiness, perhaps about going second in the championship, taking the second place. Talk us through your race and how you feel after that one. Yeah. Well, it's been so tight, isn't it? And behind Blizzard, I mean, if Blizzard, no disrespect to Blizzard, but if you weren't here, Blizzard would have some championship fight, that's for sure. Because I mean, I think before the start of that race, I think 10th down to 2nd. I think there was literally a race win between 10th to 10th to 2nd. So it's been so tight. And generally, over the course of the season, have you enjoyed it? Have you been in the thick of it throughout the season? Has it been a real battle in there to try and come home second?
Yeah, I've not had a podium finish all season. This is now my 9th points finish in a row, but I've just somehow kept avoiding the podiums. But now, with a bit of luck, I've got a podium, and it's just going to boost me up, and hopefully I can just keep second in the championship.
And hopefully you can wrap it up in Brazil. And going on to Brazil, Leon, how do you feel going into that one? Is that a circuit you fancy your chances at?
Certainly, I actually love Brazil. It's one of my top 3 tracks. I just don't really like the straights because my setup will be designed for the corners. So, and hopefully if Blizzard starts in the back again, he won't be able to get back through the grid, and hopefully I'll try and win that race too.
Oh well, congratulations on second place. Commiserations, whatever way you look at it. I mean, you could have won in the end, but no, good job. And second place looking pretty strong now in the championship to wrap up in Brazil. But of course, that rounds it all off, folks. Congratulations to Blizzard on yet another victory. Congratulations to Leon and Goran as well, who did not join us on the podium. Be sure to join us for the final race of the season, the final race on F1 2018 in ILR League. Boy, it's been fun. We'll see you next week for that race in Brazil. That's all from me. That's all from the guys. Goodbye.